Seth Rogen on going from on-screen slacker to studio boss. People really do scream at each other in Hollywood. Seth Rogen is itemizing all the ways in which, when he's producing a film or TV show, he's inclined to agonize about his contribution. Are my notes helping? He says. Am I making things worse? Am I actually inspiring the writers to create better things? Or am I imposing my outdated vision? Will they think spending time with me is a worthy use of their time? And the big one, the one that, when he's working with his heroes, as he did recently on The Studio, a new TV comedy Rogen has produced, directed, co-written and starred in, and which features cameos by, among others, Howard and Martin Scorsese, really keeps him awake at night. Do they like me? It is a very Rogenish thought spiral, neurotic, self-deprecating, delivered with the tremulous comic undertone that characterizes most of his speech. Since the devastating fires in LA in January, it is also the kind of moan, Rogen says, that has to be prefaced in Hollywood by an awkward new protocol. Whenever you talk to anyone, the first thing you do is check, like, before we get too far into trivial subjects, did you recently lose all your worldly belongings? Before I whine to you for 20 minutes, it'd be good to know. Did Rogen lose anything? I did not, thank God. He laughs his famous, wheezing laugh that sounds like a van trying to get up a hill. So be as trivial as you like. I suspect Rogen, who is 42, can get away with a great deal more whining than most people in Hollywood purely by virtue of the firm and affectionate idea of him we have from his movies. Funny, nerdy, beardy, affable, Canadian, for God's sake. A man whose side hustle is running a weed business and making ceramics. He is speaking via video call from the LA production office of Point Pictures, the company he runs with Evan Goldberg, his writing and business partner of 30 years, which, according to IMDb, has a whopping 16 projects in the works, though, Rogen says, with assiduous self-ridicule. A lot of that may not be real. Still, his recent output has been terrific. The TV comedy Platonic, which just shot its second season for Apple and in which Rogen stars opposite Rose Byrne, is a pitch-perfect rendition of friendship in middle age. The Boys and Gen V, teen superhero comedies for Amazon, were funny and well-received. Even the old stuff bears up, just about. Knocked Up, the 2007 comedy in which he co-starred with Katherine Heigl, tried to persuade us a 20-something baby man is not, by today's standards, a shirking nightmare but a cute creature, and the film, along with Pineapple Express and Superbad, succeeds in large part thanks to Rogen's persona. It's a misleading emphasis, because he is now at least as successful as an executive as he is as an actor and writer. At one point, while discussing the intricacies of the movie industry, he says casually, "Like, we very rarely don't get what we want." Getting what you want, and the old question of art versus money, is the subject of The Studio, in which he plays Matt Remick, freshly appointed head of a fictional movie studio called Continental. He's a classic Rogen character, well-meaning, shambolic, full of big ideas and poor execution. Remick's appointment coincides with the steep decline of the movie business in favor of television, something we thought was funny, a show about saving film where the only way you can tell that story in a well-resourced way is on television. And it is a well-resourced show, shot with a dreamy, golden hour filter designed to evoke Hollywood's heyday and stuffed with cameos pulled from Rogen's contacts list. Charlize Theron, with whom he starred in the 2019 comedy Long Shot, Paul Dano, the 2023 movie Dumb Money, Zac Efron, the 2014 frat house comedy Bad Neighbors, Adam Scott, who appeared in Rogen's road trip comedy of 2012, The Guilt Trip, Olivia Wilde and Steve Buscemi. Rogen acknowledges that, unlike a behind-the-scenes show such as Extras, in which Ricky Gervais skewered the movie industry via the people on set with the least power, focusing on the studio head is risky. But it works, he believes, because most people can identify with a delusional boss, in this case, one who fights to maintain his integrity in the face of people who don't truly give a shit about movies. We talked a lot about The Office, Rogen says, which I love, and how the boss is the most tragic figure on the show. Just because you're at the top of the power structure, it doesn't mean you're less relatable or funny. The difference between The Studio and The Office, of course, is that the latter wasn't conceived as a love letter to the paper industry, while the former is infused with absolute faith in the communicable charm of the glitzy world it inhabits. Rogen says they were aware of the dangers of self-indulgence. We took great care to make sure the comedic premise itself was relatable to anyone watching. In one episode, Remick goes on an absurd journey to try to force Zoe Kravitz into thanking him in her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. I think people with regular office jobs have that feeling of, oh, there's a presentation I helped on and the person giving it isn't going to acknowledge I helped on it,